Hello everyone, I think we should be live now, and we're in qualifying for the 11th round, I believe it is, for the GPVWC Formula Challenge Championship, and we're currently in qualifying. Only 1 minute and 40 seconds left on the clock. Chris Butcher is currently leading. He's going even faster than he already was. He's leading by 2/10 from Johan Lindberg, who's followed by his teammate, I believe, or is it? Yes, it is, Matthew Marquardt. So YTF1 really looking strong for this event. Then in 4th place, it's Royce Croton. Of course, the one in the title fight with Maciej Mlinek, who is currently in P8. So he's currently beating him, and I guess that would be good for him because Maciej has quite a big margin over him currently. So he will be looking to grab some points back on. Yeah, in order to get his charge for the Super Cup, or for the Formula Challenge, sorry, still going. And if we look further down the grid, we see that Nicky Kuipers is also driving. He is driving his first race of the Formula Challenge season, so he's making his debut together with Lucas Zimmerman, who is driving for Holland Racing Team. I believe those two are the only two people making their debut. And Nicky Kuipers is making his debut at his home Grand Prix, so he will be looking to make a great impression here. He will be looking to grab some points. That would be nice for him. And I also think all the Dutch people will also enjoy this race because it feels like their home Grand Prix. We don't have, as a Dutchman myself, we don't have a Dutch Grand Prix. So at least to me, this seems like the home Grand Prix, and I believe that a lot of other Dutch people agree with me. And they will be looking to grab a win here, or maybe a really good results compared to what they usually do. Some interesting moves here as well, as Liam de Waal is currently in the Stax Racing, and he is in P5 with his teammate Menno at P7. And Liam de Waal was driving for a different team before. I don't remember which one. I believe it was EJ Engineering. So he made a switch, and that's very interesting. Qualifying has now finished. A few people are still finishing their laps, so there might be a few changes to come. Let's see who is on a good lap. Maciej is still driving, so he could be getting closer to Roy. He's currently in P9, so he needs to improve if he wants to be close to his rival. And he makes a tiny mistake there in the S's. And he drops to P10 now, meanwhile, as Philip Koenig, I believe, is going to P9, which is pretty good result for Philip Koenig. He can be happy with that, I guess. And Terence pulls into the pits. Darren Gregg, also a very good result in P6. I don't believe he qualifies that high very often, so he should be happy with that as well. And we also see that Mike Quint hasn't been able to set a lap. That's unfortunate. He says sorry for that, and that's really unfortunate. So yeah, I guess he had a few crashes. I hope he doesn't have them in the race. I mean, you'd rather have them now. Meanwhile, his teammate though, Maciej Mlinek, the title leader in the standings, he goes to P6, so he is now really close to Roy. He's right behind him on the grid, so that will be a really good fight into the first corner, hopefully. And Liam de Waal is the only one splitting the two, so he's done a good job on his return to the Formula Challenge. And I believe everyone has finished their lap, or yeah, have they? Yeah, they have. So it's Chris Butcher on pole for the Belgian Grand Prix. And Chris Butcher, is he making his debut? I don't believe so, but at least it's one of his first races here, and he's driving for Red Arrow Racing together with David Yount, I believe. So that's a really good job by Chris, getting that pole position. So let's see into the standings then. Maciej is currently leading by 71 points from Royce Croton, so that's a really big gap. Even if Roy wins both races and Maciej doesn't finish any of them, or at least not inside the points, he will still not be able to catch him up completely, but at least it would take a big chunk out of the points gap between them now. I also see now that Liam de Waal has got a penalty, so that means that Roy and Maciej will be lining up in 4th and 5th, meaning they are right behind each other. No one splitting the two, so that will be very, very interesting going into the first corner. Could be a battle straight away. Maybe even a crash. Who knows? I hope they don't crash. Wouldn't be good for them. I think we're moving to the warm-up soon, and we'll be starting the race after that. The race on this track is 11 laps long, which is, I believe, the shortest distance of any races. But that doesn't mean we cover the shortest distance, because this track is the longest track on the calendar. It is like 7 kilometers long, which is really long for a track. Even the real life Formula One drive only 44 laps around this track, and the track, in my opinion, is really amazing. It's my favorite track on the calendar. It's a very fast circuit with a lot of fast sweeping corners, but also a few slow corners, such as turn 1 and the final bus stop chicane. So there's a lot of overtaking opportunities here. It will be interesting to see where we will see the most moves. I believe they will be down the back straight, into the bus stop, and also down the Camel Straight, and then into the chicane there. I don't even know the corner names, which is really bad because I really should know them as a Dutchman. I mean, I live pretty close, so who knows? But I only know a few corners, unfortunately. However, we'll be able to see some guys practice their race pace, so it could be interesting to see how well people do on their race pace. And I'm not sure about the tires, but yeah, they need to keep them well. And I'm not sure if the tire wear is really high around this track. It could be very interesting. Maybe some people have a little problem with that. Hopefully not, though, for them. That would be bad. I don't know if there's any chance of rain either. It doesn't look like it currently. It seems to be pretty sunny, so I don't believe there's any rain coming in any soon. However, we never know. The weather might just change immediately, and yeah, who knows? If you guys have any questions, by the way, you can feel free to ask them in the chat. I will try to read the chat every now and then and read out your comments if I can, if they're interesting enough, that is. Because not everything you say there is good enough to be read out here. You know, you need to say something important or something fun. Not just kidding, I don't care. Just say something and I'll read it out for you. I just did a little check, by the way, as well, and I just saw that Chris Butcher already drove at 1 round, which was the last round at the Nürburgring, and he managed to take a win there, so that's really interesting. He's already proven himself to be a race winner, and he's looking very strong to take a second win already, which could be very interesting. I mean, imagine what he could have done if he was in there from the beginning. But yeah, that's only a what if, so we never know what could have happened. But he's there now, and he's fighting for the top position, so that's really good for him. And maybe he will be able to take the momentum into the next season if he wants to stay around for another season. And maybe he will be one of the title contenders in the Formula Challenge, or maybe he will move up to the Super Cup or even the Super League, and he will be able to prove himself there. It could be very interesting. So Chris Butcher is really one of the guys to look out for, in my opinion. Could be one to take the race win as well in this first race, of course. But there's a lot of other competition going on. Johan Lindberg in second position, also a very strong contender. Still looking for his first race win though, so Johan Lindberg could be fun if we see him win. I mean, a new race winner is always interesting to see. But he has the pace, so he could be challenging Chris Butcher throughout the race, hopefully. And we will see some very, very interesting battles for the lead. As we see some people popping their laps as well. They're doing 2:03s, which seems to be the race pace on average for pretty much everyone, at least for the quicker guys. Of course, if you're slower, then you're not going to be able to do 2:03s, but that's seems to be around the race pace. But those guys might be fooling around, of course, so you never know what's going to happen in race. And I think Matthew Marquardt is just saying that he wants his lap to be invalidated, and I have no idea where he would be on the grid. If he drops down 2 positions, then he's behind Roy Scruton and Maciej Mlinek, which could be very interesting as they will be starting even closer to the top. They will be starting P3 and P4 in that case, which is the second row. And the higher you get, the more points are on the card. So that could be very interesting as well. Yes, the warm-up is now finished, and I guess we'll be moving to the race pretty soon, and we will be able to see the full grid with all the edits and everything going on, and maybe even some penalties for some guys that I didn't take note of. And Matthew Marquardt does indeed want his lap to be invalidated, so he'll drop down the order. I'm not sure how much though. Could be only a few positions. Rink makes a mistake. He says something about me, so that's very interesting. He tries to whisper, but that doesn't go right. So at least it's in Dutch, so not everyone understands him. That's good. Yeah, it will be very interesting to see if Chris Butcher is the first to reach the, I believe it's called Lecum after the Camel Straight. I'm not sure. Correct me if I'm wrong. But if he will be the first to get through there, because of course after the first corner there's a pretty long straight, and there will be a lot of slipstreaming going on. So that's going to be very interesting to see if he will be able to hang on to that first position with everyone behind him like hungry dogs trying to get that first position. We're gonna see what's going to happen. Maybe he will drop back a position. That could also happen, of course, if he just drops back 1 position at the start and then retakes the lead into the second sector. That could also happen, of course. We're gonna see it now as we are gonna be going to the race in pretty much now, I believe. Yeah, so good luck to every driver on there who's watching and listening to me. So good luck to you, and good luck to all the drivers on the grid, of course, and all the team bosses. I wish you luck for your drivers. I hope for you they fare well in this race. And we're moving to the race now. So it's just 1 minute until the formation lap starts. Let's see if everyone makes it to the grid. That's also going to be interesting. I've had it happen a few times. Forget to press the race button in time, and then you have to start from the pit lane, I believe at least. And yeah, of course, that's not what you want, especially if you're near the front of the grid. And Roy Scroton and Matej Mlajnek are starting in second and third position even. Johan Lindberg is down in 5th, and his teammate is down in 20th position. So Matthew Marker has lost a host of positions after invalidating his own lap. But still from P20, you can still do pretty well if you manage to keep the car on track, play it safe. I believe there's also quite a lot of penalties going on because Mike Quint, who didn't set a lap, is in P21 out of 28. So that means there are 7 people behind him with penalties. That's quite a lot, in my opinion. And the formation lap is starting. Everyone's made it to the grid, so let's slowly run you through the grid. With Chris Butcher on pole. I believe it's his first pole position in the Formula Challenge. Behind him now is Roy Scroton, of course, second place in the standings. He'll be looking to win and grab as many points as he can on Matej. Matej is in third position right behind him though, so he'll be looking to defend from him and try to overtake him and extend his lead that is already 71 points. So that's going to be a very, very interesting fight throughout the race. In fourth place is Terence Gregg. Really good qualifying for him. He'll be looking to grab a race win. I don't think he has one. In fact, he only has one podium so far. So he'll be looking to grab that win if he can. Then we go down to P5, which is Johan Lindberg. I'm not sure what happened. Maybe he also invalidated a lap. But he's in 5th position with Menno Klont in 6th position. Also pretty good. Then Bastian Peisler is in 7th place with Philip Koenig behind him. All these guys doing pretty well. Menno does have a race win, but the other guys don't have one. So they'll still be looking to hang on to the lead group. And with the loads of slipstreaming that you can do here, I believe it's possible for even those guys to take a race win. Also for Roy Versal behind him and Bruno Sousa Ferreira. So that will be a very, very interesting fight. All these guys, I believe they're pretty equal on pace, so that's going to be very interesting. P11 is Matthew Klipp. David Junt in P12. Not a very good qualifying for him, but maybe he will be able to do something from the reverse grid if he's lucky. With Paul Joseph in P13. Mark Breslin, in P14. And Rink Hoekstra in P15. Nicky Kuipers, the home guy. I believe he's the only Belgian on the grid. He's in P16. Brad Metcalf is P17. Gerard van der Weijden is P18. Lucas Zimmerman is P19. Matthew Marker, after invalidating his lap, is P20. Pretty low, but maybe he'll be able to do something from the reverse grid as well. Could be very interesting to watch him progress through the field, hopefully. Mike Quint, P21, same goes for him. He is really quick, so will be interesting to see what he can do. Jake Sensen is returning to the racing in P22. Wesley Stefano with a penalty, P23. Clemens Wild, P24. Patrick Gerber in P25. All these guys have penalties, remember, so they could be very quick. Ryan Nash, P26. Jaden Wright, P27. and Liam de Waal in P28. And I believe that Menno Klont, or is it? No. Wait, Jake Sanson made a mistake or something. Oh, he's going into the pits. Oh, he must have had damage. He has no front wing. So Jake Sanson already made a mistake, and he is into the pits. He's going to start from the pit lane. Unfortunate for Jake Sanson. But yeah, the rest of the grid is on the grid already. So I believe we're going to be starting really, really soon. And let's see who gets the best start. With the lights coming on, 2, 3, 4, 5 lights, and we're underway for the Belgian Grand Prix in Formula Challenge Race 1. And Chris Butcher gets a good start into the first corner. He's still in P1, sorry, and his P3 is Terence Gregg, and there's someone around. It's a Holland Racing Team car, and in the back there's also a few crashes. But Maciej Mlinek has a bad start, and Menno Klont is up to P4, also a very good start from him, as Johan Lindberg tries to challenge Maciej Mlinek. And Nicky Kyrgios is already out of the race. Unfortunate for him, he is already out of his home Grand Prix. So that's very unfortunate. As Terence Gregg tries to challenge Roy Scruton for a P2, that is. And he goes round the outside. Very good move by Terence Gregg. And Menno manages to hang on from Maciej in P4. So Terence and Menno with very good starts in the front. Let's see further back who's also made a good start. David Yoon up to P10, also pretty good. Let's see, Mike Quint is in P13. Oh my god, that's really good from him. He started P21, I believe, so that's really, really good from him. Let's see, Wesley Stefano also up to P17, and Liam de Waal from the back is also in P18. So these guys are really making good progress already, and they're trying to get into the points now as soon as they can. Clemens Wild is also out of the race, unfortunately. As we go back to the front, as I saw Maciej make a tiny mistake, but not a biggie, I believe. And Johan Lindberg is trying to challenge him for P5. So he's going to go down the back straight. And up front, it's still Chris Butcher with over a second lead over Terence. So he's going to run away with it if it is. But Johan Lindberg goes around the inside of Maciej Mlinek, and he's already passed in the middle of the straight, so it will be interesting to see now if he can hang on to this position or if he can't. He has to go around the outside of the chicane, so maybe he will take less speed out of the chicane, but he blocks the apex pretty nicely from Maciej. So Maciej is now in P6, and that's not really what he was hoping for, I believe, when he started the race. With Roy Scruton now in P3, that's a few points for Roy, so that's good for Roy. Philip Koenig in P7 and Roy Verzal in P8 also doing pretty well. Yeah, let's see who's going to be able to challenge for a position down the Camel Straight now. I believe there's David Yoon is getting challenged. David Yoon is getting challenged by, oh wait, even further up front, it's Roy Verzal getting overtaken by Bruno Sousa Ferreira, and Matthew Klipp is overtaking David Yoon, but is he able to hang on? Oh, he gets touched. Oh, they touch, but there's nothing really bad, I believe. But Yoon manages to hang on to the position. I'm not sure whose mistake it was. Maybe a racing incident. But Mike Quint is now trying to look up the inside of Matthew Klipp. Really opportunistic driving. Really good. Mike Quint up to P11 now. That's really nice. So let's see. Maciej Mlinek up to P4, and something has happened to Menno Klont, I believe. I don't see him. I don't see Menno Klont, guys. That's not what we want. I believe Menno Klont has lagged out, so has he had an internet issue? He has left the race. Oh, that's unfortunate for Menno. He was doing so well, so that's really unfortunate for Menno. And that means now that from P6, Maciej Mlinek is now back up to P4, as he has also passed Johan Lindberg in the process. So, yeah, now he's back behind Roy Scruton. So he has a 2 seconds gap. And now the question is, will he be able to catch up to Roy? But he still is being challenged by Johan Lindberg. So, well, it's going to be a very, very interesting battle for sure. He seems to be catching up slowly, but we'll see what happens there. as there's a big lockup from Roy. But a little further back for P6 is Philip Koenig, Bruno Sousa Ferreira, and Roy Versal. As Mike Quinn, meanwhile, takes David Yoon for P9, and Matthew Clip also takes David Yoon. So David Yoon is back down to P11, unfortunately for him, but he still has a good slipstream run here, and a little bit in front of them is also Roy Versal challenging Bruno Sousa Ferreira. So a lot of battling going on down the Camel Straight, as I expected, as Roy Versal tries to take him, but he can't do anything. And David Yoon is past Matthew Clip again, so that's good for him. He's back into the top 10. Menno Klont, meanwhile, has rejoined the race, but he's a lap down, so unfortunately for him, he won't be able to challenge for the points, I believe, unless there's a lot of retirements. But yeah, we don't expect a lot of retirements to happen. Let's see up front, it's Chris Butcher, 2 seconds gap now to Terence Gregg. So he's running away with it, it seems. But you never know what's going to happen in the further course of the race. Terence Gregg still holding on to that second place. 1.4 seconds the gap to Roy Scruton. Also pretty nice with Mache in P4. Still being challenged by Johan Lindberg. At least Johan is trying to keep up with him. And maybe later on he will be able to force a move on Mache. And then we have Philip Koenig in P6. He's dropping back a bit though. But he's pulling away from P7, Bruno Sousa Ferreira. Maybe it's because they, Bruno Sousa Ferreira and Roy Versal are fighting a bit with each other. Nicky Carver says, nice to get hit again. I left enough space and still they are able to hit me. That's really unfortunate, especially in your home Grand Prix. I hope you'll be back though for race 2, because you never know what's going to happen. And maybe you will be able to take advantage of those making mistakes. As Mike Quinn is now really challenging Roy Versal on the straight. He's really closely behind, he's already pulling alongside, but he has to go around the outside of the next corner. But he has more speed, so he might be slightly ahead already into the corner. So are they going to survive that? Yes, they are. And that's a really good move by Mike Quinn, who's really showing himself to be a good racer in this race so far. As he goes defensive for Roy. Roy tries to go around the outside of Bruxelles, I believe that is. But he doesn't manage to make it stick. That would be something if he made that stick. That would be really an amazing move. Let's see if there's anything else going on now. Maybe David Yoon will be able to challenge Roy Versal as well for P9, as he is closing in on him. Matthew Clip is still also in this train, so this really long train. Wesley Stefano, meanwhile, also up to P12, so that's really good from him as well. Yeah, he also came from like P23 or something, so he's also shown himself to be on the pace straight away, so that's good for him. Liam De Waal in P16, getting closer and closer to the points, even though he makes a tiny mistake. So, yeah, those guys are really pushing forward now, but I'm sure it will get harder as they move forward, as those guys are getting quicker, of course, as well. And Matthew Clip nearly runs into the back of David Yoon, but luckily avoids him, even though he does lose sometimes, and that does allow Wesley Stefano onto the back of him. But yeah, let's see. Mike Quinn once again really close behind Bruno Sousa Ferreira. Will he be able to pull alongside on the Camel Straight? That's the question. He's closing in now. The slipstream in full effect here. Behind Roy Versal is already 1.5 seconds back, so that's really a lot. Mike Quinn is looking to the inside, but he's not close enough, unfortunately. So the slipstream isn't working that well, it seems. He was only half a second behind. And for such a long straight, he didn't catch up that much. So, yeah, maybe it's the low wings. I guess that will be the explanation for that. And Quint will be looking to stay close behind the rear wing of Bruno Sousa Ferreira. He's really close now, at least. Less than 2 tenths. He's looking to the inside of Pouhon. Surely not there. No, he doesn't, of course. That's a really smart and wise decision. But he has to stick closely behind Bruno if he wants to try something and get a good exit into the third sector and onto the straight to get a run on him for the bus stop chicane. Let's see if he can do it. Let's see if he can pull it off. It doesn't seem that great. No, he's 7 tenths behind, and Bruno is pulling away even, so maybe Bruno has less wings as well. That could also be the case, of course. He's slowly reeling him in now. He needs a good bus stop chicane now in order to get something sorted for the next lap. And the fight continues, let's say that. Meanwhile, Wesley and Matthew Clip are trying to close in on David Yoon, but Wesley is going to be looking to Matthew Clip. Is he going to try and move into the first corner? No, he isn't. I think he's setting himself up for the next straight. And he's already pulled alongside. Is he going to make a move into Eau Rouge? No, he isn't. He's pulling back behind Matthew Clip. That's, in my opinion, a wise decision. You don't want to risk a crash and lose all the points you have. So he's going to be looking to pull alongside on the straight instead, as Matthew Clip goes very, very defensive. But I think Wesley will be able to get him on the brakes. Will he be able to? No, he isn't. So he tries to cut back. No, it doesn't work. Meanwhile, Mike Quint has made the move stick on Bruno Sousa Ferreira. I believe the cameras have caught that, so that's good to see. I missed it, unfortunately. I was focusing on another battle, but yeah, there's so much battling going on. It's quite hard to keep track of which guy is passing which guy. But Mike Quint up into P7, really, really good. He's only 6 seconds behind his teammate. Really impressive, to be honest, in my opinion. Let's see who else is doing impressive stuff. In my opinion, it's Wesley Stefano has made a mistake. Doesn't cost him any positions, but he does lose time to Matthew Clip, unfortunately. And the gap is now 2 seconds, so that's a shame for him. As Liam de Waal has passed Green Hoekstra for the final point now. And he is also going to be able to pass Jared van der Weijden, who goes wide. He needs to slam on the brakes, actually, I think, a little bit to avoid him. And now Green Hoekstra is also going to go back into the points. Is he? Yes, he is. Taking advantage of that bad exit for Jared after going wide. But Jared is going to be looking into the bus stop chicane, I'm sure of it. So Rink not going defensive, but he's going to try to brake a little bit later. Yes, he is, and that's very well defended. No defensive line, but just the brakes. However, looking a bit further forward once again, we can see David Yoon, Matthew Clip, and Roy Versal all 3 are very close, and Matthew Clip is having a run on David Yoon actually, so is he able to pass him on the straight? That's going to be very, very interesting. It's definitely going to help Roy Versal holding on to that P9. Oh, as David Yoon tries to block him off, but he doesn't leave enough space. Well, I'm not sure actually. I think Matthew was not fully alongside yet, or wasn't even alongside with something yet. And he tried to go for a gap that was closing and closing. So yeah, racing incident there, but it takes away the momentum for Clip, and he isn't able to make a move on David Jones anymore. Shame on you, Wopke. I think that's referring to the overtake of Mike Quint. Sorry guys, I'm really, really sorry. Joffrey is asking if Liam is the new permanent FC Stacks driver. I don't think he is. I think it's just for this one race. I think Manu talked to me earlier today and he said like, shit, we don't have a driver for tonight, and then he fixed something. So I think it's only for tonight, but who knows, maybe after this performance, if he does well, he may be able to come back a few rounds. I'm not sure. or Matthew Clip is looking for David Yoon once again. Down the back straight into the bus stop chicane. This is going to be very, very interesting. He has the momentum. I think David Yoon is running quite high wings. And that's really holding him back now. But is he going to be able... Oh! They touch once again. But this time I think... yeah, nothing really happens to both of them. But yeah, it's really, really tough racing here. So I'm not sure what's going to happen with those guys. I like it though. It's a good battle to watch. And that's what we like. As he tries into the first corner, but no, he can't make it stick. But he's going to try to get a good run again, and all of this is helping Roy Vizal, who's pulling away now, and the gap is now over a second. Matthew Clip is already really into the rear of David Yoon as they go up Eau Rouge, Radillon, Eau Rouge, whatever you want to call it. And he's pulling alongside now. He has the inside, which is really good. So that's going to be very interesting. And David Yoon just lets him go, it seems. I think he wants Matthew Clip to go ahead and catch up to Roy Vizal, and hopefully he could take advantage of that. That's a really, really interesting move by David Yoon. I'm not sure what he was trying to do there. As behind them, Wesley Stefano is catching up. So if he's unlucky and can stay in the slipstream of Matthew Clip, then Wesley might be able to catch up to him and make a move on him. So yeah, all of this is really, really interesting to watch. And Matthew seems to be pulling away, so he really seems to have the pace over him. Mike Quint, however, is still in P7, trying to catch up to Philip Koenig as well. So we go to the front, let's see what's going on there. I haven't watched there for a while. Chris Butcher still leading by about 3 seconds from Terence Breck, and behind him, 1 second behind, is Roy Scroton. As Johan Lindberg is in P4 actually, and Mathieu is in P5, so Johan has overtaken Mathieu somewhere along the way. I didn't see that. I'm sorry for that. I'm too focused on too many battles, and not this one unfortunately, but Mathieu is now in P5 and Roy is in P3, so Roy will be happy with this result as it stays, but he will be trying to catch up to Terence Breck, of course. Trying to get P2 and 5 or 4 more points, I think it is. Let's see what else is going on a bit further down the grid now. Rink Hoekstra has made a big mistake. He is down in P90 now, even though it's a big gaggle of cars. He lost 4 positions, and Patrick Gerber is now the final point scorer. But oh, he makes a mistake as well. And Gerald van der Weijden is now right behind him, so that's going to be a very, very interesting battle with Mark Breslin as well and Matthew Marquardt. And Rick Hoekstra still within a second of Marquardt, so he could be able to challenge these guys should they make a mistake. But yeah, for P15 now, Patrick Gerber defending from Jaros van der Weijden. Van der Weijden is trying to pull alongside, but he isn't able to do it very, very well. He has to go around the outside, really late braking. But he can't make it stick. He was too far back, unfortunately. And yeah, whoa, he's really going quickly through the corners, and maybe a little bit of lag for me. I'm not sure if it's just me or everyone else as well. So let's hope it doesn't cause any incidents at least. But for now, he's still behind Patrick Gerber, and by about half a second. And now Mark Breslin is trying to catch him up. He's only 2 tenths behind Gerard van der Weijden, so that's going to be interesting as Gerber runs a bit wide. So these guys are all closing into each other now, and that's going to be maybe a three-way fight down the back straight as Gerber makes another mistake. And oh, this is really tense, guys. For the final point, remember, so these guys have only 1 point on the card, but only the fastest one of these guys is going to take it. And they all want it because 1 point is 1 point, and it's more than 0 points. So that's all you want, is every point you can take. And Mark Breslin now on the back of Gerard van der Weijden with Matthew Marquardt also really close behind. He had to lift off for a little bit even. And is he going to try to look to the inside of both of them? No, he isn't. And Mark Breslin also can't make a stick, but Gerald goes wide and goes off. And both Matthew Marquardt and Mark Breslin go through for P16 and P17 now. And behind him is Ryan Nash as Hoekstra dropped even further to P22 now. He's making mistakes left, right, and center, unfortunately. Yeah, so that's unfortunate for him. But Patrick Gerber, meanwhile, has pulled away 1.3 seconds from Mark Breslin. So that's good for him. He has the point now, and he wants to keep it, and at least it's a bit safer. David Yunt also made a mistake, down to P13 now. I saw someone go through the grass, I believe. Maybe it was a back marker, though. Could be the case. I'm not quite sure. Could also be Peisler or Stefano, of course. I'm not sure. Okay, let's see. Maciej Mlinek also made a mistake, guys. He's down to P6 now, right behind Philip Koenig and right in front of his teammate. So his teammate from P21 is right behind him now. So his teammate is looking to have the pace over him. But the interesting part now is, will he overtake him? Because Maciej is fighting for the championship and Mike Quint, unfortunately, is not. He is down in P6 right now, which is also really, really good, of course, but not the championship lead, and he is 183 points away from the lead, so he has no chance of winning the championship realistically. So unless his teammate makes a mistake, I don't think he's gonna pass him. I think they're just gonna try and drag each other along. With only 1 lap to go already, this race has really gone by fast now. I think the top 5 looks pretty, well, the top 4 looks pretty set, but for P5, there's still a big battle. And Maciej Mlinek is going to be looking down the Camel Straight for Philip Koenig. That's going to be a really interesting battle. Let's see what he's going to be able to do. He's really reeling him in already. And Mike Quint has dropped back a little bit, so he's not going to be able to challenge or anything. Maciej looks to the outside. He brakes really late. But he manages to hold it, and Koenig touches him, and he goes round, and Quint goes through as well. And that means Quint is now in P6, and Koenig, he almost rejoins it to the path of Bruno Sousa Ferreira, but Sousa Ferreira gets through as well. And Koenig is now down to P8, unfortunately. I think it was his own mistake. I think Maciej left enough room. That's unfortunate in the last lap as well, so there's not much time to regain that 7th position as well. And that's really unfortunate. Roy Verzal also made a mistake, down to P12 now. And Peisler passed Wesley Stefano for P. Then it's all going on now in the final laps. Let's see what else is going to happen. Someone's going around there. I think it's a back marker. I think Jake Sanson maybe. Yeah, he's out of the race, unfortunately. Gerber is still being challenged by Matthew Marquardt, though, for the final point. And I think it's also the final position for reverse grid. I think reverse grid here is from P10 to P15. So if you can get that P15, and should it be the number for the reverse grid pole, Matthew Marquardt could be in a really good position. So he's going to be trying to challenge Patrick Gerber, as Chris Butcher, meanwhile, already finished the race. Sorry guys, I missed it. Chris Butcher wins ahead of Terence Gregg, Roy Scruton, Johan Lindberg, Maciej Mlinek, ahead of his teammate Mike Quint at P6. Really good driving by Mike Quint. But back to P15, as we see Matthew Marquardt trying to challenge Patrick Gerber for that final point. Is he going to be dive bombing down the final chicane? Oh, and they move, and Matthew Marquardt goes round into the final chicane. He tried too hard there. I think he wasn't sure which side to choose, because Patrick Gerber was kind of staying in the middle of the track, which was his defense, but I'm not sure what happened there. Unfortunately for Matthew Marquardt, he finishes P17, and Patrick Gerber finishes P16 as Mark Breslin takes the final point now. But yeah, let's see. So we saw the top 6 with Chris Butcher in P1, Terence Gregg, Roy Scruton, Johan Lindberg, Maciej Mlinek. Mike Quint. P7 then is Bruno Sousa Ferreira. Then we have Philip Koenig P8, Matthew Klipp P9, and Bastian Peisler in P10, Wesley Stefano P11, Roy Verzal P12, David Yunt P13, P14 is Liam de Waal from the back of the grid, and P15 is Mark Breslin, with Patrick Gerber and Matthew Marquardt finishing P16 and 17, unfortunately for them. So yeah, that's the first race finished already. That was really quick, guys. I didn't even realize it was going so quickly. Really exciting race there. Yeah, Mike Quinn, really strong drive from P21, I believe it was, and he finished P6, of course, right behind his teammate. Of course, with a great start up to P13 or so already in the first lap, so that's really good from him. And Johan Lindberg, not cursed. That's what Matthew Ellington says. Yeah, he is P4. That's really good from him. And unfortunately for you, though, your teammate did get cursed, I believe. He finished P17. So hopefully in the second race he can sort that out. A lot of people seem to be complaining about driving standards. I wasn't complaining, though. I think I saw pretty good racing. Maybe we just caught the right battles, though. So, yeah. Now it's up for the RD, I believe, to give us the reverse grid number during the warm-up. And that's going to be very interesting. Chris Butcher, though, amazing drive from pole, led every lap. I'm not sure if he got the fastest lap as well, but I wouldn't be surprised if he did. His fastest lap was a 2:02.4. And I believe that's quicker than anyone else. So well done to Chris. Really dominated the race and controlled it from the start. Terence Gregg, though, from I believe it was P4 to P2, passing both the championship leaders. So that's really good from him as well. P2, his highest position in all season. Yeah, quite impressed with the drive. Oh, this is very interesting, guys. Reverse grid number is P15. So the Patrick Gerber and Matthew Markert were fighting for it. And Mark Breslin now is the lucky guy, getting that P15. And yeah, he's going to be starting on pole position, so that's really good for him. And also Liam DeWall, of course, in P2 now. And he showed some promising pace in qualifying, so that's going to be interesting. He's in P2 on the grid, so that's going to be very, very interesting. Alright guys, I'm back and we're starting the race pretty soon with P15 now on pole position, and of course the other way around as well, meaning that our race winner Chris Butcher will be coming from P15. It will be very, very interesting to see what he can do from there with his amazing pace, of course. And also the rest of the grid now being swapped around. It's going to be very, very interesting with all the pace differences and all those things. Let's see what's going to happen with everyone and who's going to be able to take advantage of the reverse grid.
Attention grid, all non-essential.
Jake Sensen says he's dreaming of a clean formation lap. That's very, very interesting, Jake. I'm not sure what happened to you in the first race, unfortunately. I just saw you lost your front wing. Let's hope it doesn't happen again this time at least. I guess you got hit or something. So that's really unfortunate for you. Well, let's hope you can get a clean one this time and manage to finish the race. Good luck to you, Jake. And to everyone else as well, of course, and to the team bosses once again, as we are starting our formation lap in 10 seconds now, with Mark Breslin starting in first place from the reverse grid pool. And he's starting the formation lap right now. Behind him is Liam de Waal in second place. He is going to be challenging for the win, together with David Jund maybe, even though I'm not quite sure about David Jund. His pace on this track, he does seem to lack a bit of top end speed as well. So that's going to be interesting. Roy Verzal is in P4. He might be able to challenge as well. With Wesley Stefano, of course, also showing great pace, so he could be challenging for a podium or a win even, as well from P5. Bastian Peisler is in P6, Matthew Klipp in P7. And Philip Koenig is in P8 with Bruno Sousa Ferreira in P9. And then we have the two Scuderia Basilias together in P10 and 11. Let's see if Mike Quinn can do very well from P10. He, of course, came from P21 to P6. So he might be able to repeat it. But this time he's starting in P10. So, yeah, that's a lot higher than P21. So who knows what's going to happen with him. Mache now in P11 with Johan Limpert in P12. Roy Scroton is in P13, so that means he's starting behind Mache this time, and he has to overtake him on track in order to get a points advantage, and that's Roy Verzal, I believe that's going round in Bruxelles. Yes, it is. And he rejoins in the middle of the pack, so that's not good, Roy. I don't think you need to do that in the formation lap, or any time at all, actually. And Terence Gregg, his teammate, Roy Verzal's teammate, is in P14, of course, after finishing P2 in the first race with Chris Butcher, our winner from race 1, in P15 then. We have Patrick Gerber and Matthew Marquardt, of course, in P16 and 17. With Paul Joseph in P18, Brad Metcalf in P19, and Rien Hoekstra in P20. Then we have Gerard van der Weijden in P21. Jaden Wright going around now. In P22, he's pulling off the track very nicely. Yeah, also going around, so that's really not good in the formation lap already. Once again, Ryan Nash behind him in P23. Lucas Zimmerman in P24. Menno Klon, of course, after his disconnection in race 1, really unfortunate from P4. So he could have challenged for a podium in race 1, and now he is starting in P25. So it might be interesting to see what he can do from that position. It's going to be hard, but if he keeps it on track, he might be able to grab a few points, and each point is really needed for him in his fight for P3, I believe, in the standings. He's in P5 currently, but oh, he's going off. I don't know. I'm not sure what happened there. Let's see. I was looking away from the screen, and let's see what's going on there. Mike Quinn hits the rear of the number 9, then someone else hits Mike Quinn. That's so far so good. Let's see what happens to Menno. Let's see where he is. Menno, oh, he tries to take evasive action. Okay, so Mike Quinn has gone round, and that's why everything happened as it happened. But yeah, we're now all lining up on the grid, and everyone's going to be set after Mike Quinn. And the lights should be coming on soon as they come on. 2 lights, 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights. And we're on the way from the second race, and Mark Breslin starts very, very well. Liam de Waal as well, trying to look on the outside, maybe he can break late. And there's a crash in the background already. And David Yoon takes second place already from Liam de Waal. But Liam is going to try to take it back on the straight again. And there's a really big gap behind Liam, so he's going to be safe for P3. With Wesley in P4, Roy in P5, Roy Verzaal, and Bastian Peisler in P6. And Mathieu is already up to P9, and Roy Scroton to P12, and there was a big crash behind with a lot of people involved, I believe. Let's see, Chris Butcher was involved, he's in P24. And let's see if there's any other big names. Bruno Sousa Ferreira, Johan Lindberg in P23, unfortunately, as well. And Paul Joseph is our first retirement from the second race. And Nicky Kaupers, by the way, did not return, unfortunately, for the home Grand Prix. David Junt, however, has taken the lead, and Mark Breslin is down to P4 with Liam de Waal now in P2 and Wesley Stefano in P3. Reversal already dropped a couple of positions as well to P7. So not a good start for Roy Verzal, and also not for Mark Breslin, but some others having good starts such as David Junt and Wesley Stefano. Meanwhile, we see Mathieu up to P8 and Terence Gregg also to P9, which is pretty good. Mike Quint is down to P15, unfortunately. He has to take it easy, stay calm, and as someone rejoins the track, that's Patrick Gerber, quite dangerously. And someone goes around, two guys go around there as well. It's Matthew Marquardt and Philip Koenig, I believe, going around together. Lots of incidents going on in the first lap here. It's a big chaos. Clemens Wild has also retired once again, unfortunately. So, and there's a lot of contact going on in the backfield. But let's go back up to the front. David Junt comes around the final chicane, and he is leading our first lap now. And will he be able to hang on? Liam de Waal is behind him, and he has good pace, so that's going to be very interesting. Wesley Stefano P3. And Breslin is getting attacked now by Bastian Peisler. Is Peisler going to be able to do it on the inside of turn 1? Yes, he is, but now he has a car behind him with a good slipstream. Mark Breslin is going to try to take it back immediately down the Camel Straight, with Matthew Klipp also closely following. And Matthew Klipp has good straight line speed, so that's going to be very interesting. Maciej Mlinek also very close behind, so this is going to be a four-way battle into the next corner maybe. Matthew Klipp is going to try down the middle. He's going to try it. Maciej is being careful. Of course, you don't want to risk losing those points, especially not as the championship leader. As I believe something was going on there, but I think, yeah. Roy Scroton is off. Roy Scroton is off. Our second place man is off, and he is dropping positions like crazy. He challenged, I believe that's Terence Gregg for P8. And then, I think Terence hit him in the rear. Yeah, Terence hit him in the rear, and then he went round. So, not sure if that's Terence's fault, but yeah, that's unfortunate for Roy. Scroton is down to P17 now. Way outside the points, and that's really not what he wants, and not what he hoped for when he started this race. He wanted to beat Maciej again, and Maciej is currently in P7, so 10 positions to make up and a lot of time between them, so he has to work hard now if he wants something out of this. Yeah, Terence Gregg is now in P8 with Mike Quint back up to P10 now, so that's good for him, and hopefully for him he can be able to catch up back to the front guys. And Matthew Allington rightfully says the curse is back. Yes, both of his guys got screwed in the opening laps, with Johan Lindberg now in P17. So that's still alright. He might be able to grab a few points still, as they're trying to catch Brad Metcalf in the final chicane, and he does so, and he is up to P16. Or is he? Because Brad Metcalf has a better exit, but he could try around the outside of the first corner. Is he going to be able to do so? Yes, he brakes late, and he brakes late enough to get that position. Very well. Menno Klomp, meanwhile, also in P18, so he's going to be challenging for the points as well, and he's also going through on Brad Metcalf. And who's going to lift off of those two guys? I think Brad is going to let off. Yes, he is, and Menno takes P17 very well there. So let's see what else we can find. There's a big battle for P4 with Bastian Peisler, Matthew Klipp, and still Mark Breslin And also Mache is also on the back of this, so he could be able to grab even more positions. As there's a lot of bumping going on there in the back with Roy Scroton again. I'm not sure what happened there. Roy had a car in his way again. I'm not sure who it was, but there was something going on there. I'm not quite sure what exactly. Johan Lindberg is DNF, so maybe they touched. Let's see what we can find. Johan Lindberg. Yes, he was alongside with Roy Scroton, and Roy was still on the inside, so I think he turned in a little bit too much, but yeah, again, it's tough to say from just this one camera angle this quickly. But yeah, unfortunately for Johan, his race is over, so indeed the curse is back for Matthew Allington and his team YTF1, with only one driver left in the race in P17 now. As Chris Butcher, who was in P13, made another mistake. He took out one of the downforce cars, that is. I'm a bit behind, but he took out one of the downforce cars. I'm not sure who it was. Jaden Wright. And then I think he made another mistake because he spun. He spun. So Chris Butcher, sorry, he is down to P21. That's not very good. That's not what he was hoping for after winning the first race. But David Jund, meanwhile, at the front is pulling away. And David Jund is the teammate of Chris Butcher, remember. So Red Arrow could be looking at a double win here, be it with two different drivers. But still, he might be able to grab it. Meanwhile, there's a big fight going on down the bottom of the points with Rink Hoekstra now in P15, with Brad Metcalf right behind him, and Matthew Marquardt, who is of course a little bit quicker than these guys, challenging with Philip Koenig. Philip Koenig trying to catch up there. He's in the slipstream of Matthew Marquardt. Is he going to be able to do something? As Rink Hoekstra nearly goes off, and Brad Metcalf goes through, and Rink Hoekstra goes round, and Philip Koenig crashes into him. And Mark, that's a big one. Someone hit him at full speed. I think that's Lucas Zimmerman. And then Chris Butcher once again involved. This time not of his own accord, but he's in there, unfortunately. So that's another biggie. There's a lot of chaos going on in this race so far. Yeah, David Jund at the front is running away with it. He's 1.8 seconds ahead of Liam de Waal. And Wesley Stefano is in P3, 4.6 seconds down the road from David Jund, so that's nearly 3 seconds down the road from Liam as well. Mache in P6 with, of course, his teammate Mike Quint in P8 with Roy Versal splitting two. As Terence Gregg is out of the race as well, let's see what happened to him. Let's see if we can find something. He made a mistake. He misjudged the braking, went wide, and lost his rear wing. Yeah, and without a rear wing, it's really, really hard to drive. So, yeah, that's unfortunate for Terence Gregg as well. After a very, very strong first race, he is now DNF. So that's unfortunate that he's not able to repeat it. Roy Scroton, meanwhile, is back up to P11. And there's another big crash. I think that's Ryan Nash and Patrick Gerber. I'm not sure what happened there, but I saw someone flying in the air. I can't believe it, guys. It's all going on everywhere. Oh, Gerber spun. And I think Nash, Gerber spun and he was rolling back onto the racing line, and Nash hit him at full speed. And that caused a big collision for Ryan Nash, who's now retired as well. Oh, and Nash tried to take Rouge flat out. And I think Rink Hoekstra hit him at full speed. No, is it Rink Hoekstra? And I think it's Roy Scroton. Oh, Roy Scroton. Oh, that's a horrible crash for Roy Scroton. Oh. Can't believe it, guys. It's all going on. And Roy Scroton, I don't think it's possible to get back in there, guys. He is possibly out of the race. I'm not sure what he's gonna try to do, but yeah, Ryan Nash there without a front wing. He shouldn't have taken that corner flat out. I mean, you should know that you have a lot of understeer, so really unfortunate for Roy Scroton to get involved with him. in that incident. Yeah, I'm not sure if it's possible to rejoin somewhere. Ryan Nash is now in the chat, and he's pissed at Patrick Gerber. Also understandable, he was rolling back onto the racing line quite dangerously. But I'm not sure if it was due to his own driving or because he was still a passenger. So I'm not sure what happened there. But yeah, unfortunate for Ryan Nash that he lost his front wing there. But I don't think he should have taken Eau Rouge flat out without a front wing. And this is all working into the hands of Maché now. Maché in P5 passed. Yeah, he has passed Matthew Klipp. So P5, that's 11 points now for Maciej Mlinek. And I don't think that Roy Scruton will score any points at this rate, as he is still trying to find for a way back onto the track. And I think there is a solution if he goes up the hill and then... Oh, his wheel is now stuck in the wall. Okay, I think he's officially screwed. I don't think he's going to be able to make it back. And that's... oh, or is he? I think he's made it. Oh no, he's stuck. Sorry, I'm having too much fun watching Roy. I should be focusing more onto the battles, and Maché is still under threat of Matthew Klipp, or is he? No, he's pulling away slowly. Meanwhile, Mike Wind in P7. Also pulling away from Roy Verzal. Roy Verzal has dropped down to P8. Menno Klont now in P11, also from very far down. I think he was caught in a few incidents. Oh, he's going around right now as I'm watching him. That's the commentator's curse. That's very unfortunate. And Roy Scruton now officially retires with suspension damage. But yeah, we all saw what happened. That's unfortunate. Ryan Nash says that he was facing forward and changed direction. So yeah, in that case, it was really Gerber's mistake. But I'm sure you can protest it and he will get a penalty if that's the case. And hopefully a very severe one, because turning onto the racing line on purpose is not what you want to do. But yeah, we're going to see what happens with that. As Matthew Marquardt is challenging Menno Klont for that P11 now, after Menno's mistake. And he's trying to go around the outside of the bus stop chicane now. But Menno breaks a little bit later, and he's going to try for the switchback and try to get a good exit out of that final corner to line himself up for that first corner. And is he going to try that? If he tries, he's going to lose the position anyway straight away, I think. He's going around the outside, but he can't make it stick. But still, he gets a good exit, and he might be able to catch up to Menno and overtake him on the Camel Straight again. And there's also a good battle going on apparently, or well, at least there was for the final point. Jake Stenson versus Jared van der Weijden, but Jake Stenson is now in P15 with Jared nearly 10 seconds behind. So Jake Stenson now in P15, that's good for him. I hope he can get the point, that would be nice for him. Menno breaks really late for that P11, and he manages to keep that position after a challenge once again from Matthew Marquardt. So that's good driving from him. Let's see what else is going on. Those guys at the front are pretty split out, to be honest, so there's not much going on. This is the first real battle for the highest position, and let's see what's going on behind it. There's not much battling going on. Everyone is pretty split out because of all the incidents and all the chaos that went on in the opening laps. And remember, we're only just over halfway the race through the race, so there's still a bit to go, so a lot can happen. Let's see, Chris Butcher is, I think, close behind Brett Metcalf as well now. And I think Matthew Marquardt is too far away from Menno to make a move there. Who knows? But Chris Butcher is definitely close enough to make a move on Brett Metcalf now into the final corner. So we're going to see what's going to be happening. He tries to look on the inside, but he can't make it stick, and that actually takes the momentum away from Chris Butcher as he tries to go around the outside of the chicane, and with a nice switch back then No, he can make it stick, but then out of the final corner, he gets a good exit. Tucks in behind of Brett, goes to the inside, very, very much to the inside. And he outbreaks Brett for the first corner and takes the position. P30 now from our race winner, which is nice. And I also saw that Bastian Peisler is now caught up to Wesley Stefano, and Wesley goes very, very defensive. These guys already met in the first race apparently, and Wesley is not gonna let this guy go by easily. So it's gonna be very, very interesting to see what he can do. Of course, Wesley needs to stay within the rules, but he can defend aggressively if he wants to. He just needs to make sure he doesn't make any errors, and they both crash out. So that would be unfortunate for both of them. I mean, he has a podium on his hands now. You don't want to lose it. And Maciej has now also found the connection to these guys. So suddenly, out of no battles at all, we now have a three-way battle for P3. And Maciej is one of them. So he's going to gain a lot of or points, I should say, on Royce Croton now. And Maciej is going to try to look to the outside of Bastian Peisler. And that would be an amazing move around the outside of this corner. And yeah, he's gonna make it stick. Oh, they touch a bit. But it's still alright. Maciej goes outside track limits a little bit, but he has to avoid Bastian Peisler. And he brakes late for the final chicane. They bang wheels again, but it's all fine. And Bastian manages to keep it stick. Patrick Gerber, meanwhile, is out of the race without a rear wing. So he has crashed this car somewhere. Let's see where that happened. Let's see. That must have been in the same corner. Oh no, it's the corner before where Terence Greg crashed this car. So that's unfortunate for Patrick Gerber as well. But yeah, looking back up the Camel Straight now is Maciej Mlinek for Bastian Peisler. He's already pulling alongside. He's carrying a lot more momentum than Bastian, and he's already passed halfway through the straight, and Bastian is now tucking in behind him, trying to move back, but it's not going to be enough before the corner, I believe. No, it's not. So Maciej is now up to P4, and Matthew Clip is also closing in on the battle. So he could be looking for that P4 or maybe even P3 if they catch back up to Wesley Stefano, of course. David June, meanwhile, 3.3 seconds up the road from in the wall. So that's quite surprising, to be honest, David June. I didn't expect it. His pace in race 1 wasn't that great, but he's showing himself now to be worthy of a race win, as he's really showing the pace. And Liam de Waal, I mean, not the slowest guy, he is also falling back. So really good pace by David June, and that win would be well deserved. He's really controlled the race so far. Let's see what else is going on. Bastian Peisler is already down to P6. Matthew Clip has gone past. Not sure where exactly, but he managed to make a stick. Oh, I think, yeah, Peisler ran wide at Puhan, and he lost a bit of time. So that's what happened. Maciej, meanwhile, catching up to Wesley Stefano. Let's see what Wesley is going to be able to do to defend from him. Let's see what else we can find going on. So yeah, Menno Klont is still fighting with Matthew Marquardt. So that's still going on as well. But, oh, Wesley Stefano! Wesley Stefano makes a mistake in the bus stop chicane. Wesley Stefano is off the track, and he's down to P7 now, even behind Mike Quint. Mike Quint, who was also closing into Matthew Clip and Bastian Peisler. So he might be able to get to P4 now. Even after this bad opening lap, he might still be able to get there. And Menno Klont defending hard from Matthew Marquardt as well into the final chicane. So he's keeping P10 for now, which is 6 points. He doesn't want to give up. Chris Butcher, meanwhile, is also catching up to these guys. So maybe he will be able to catch up before the end. That would be very, very interesting. Let's see. Jake Sanson, however, is now being challenged by Jared van der Weijden for the final point into the bus stop chicane. Jared goes by pretty easily, it seems. Or does he? No. Jake Sanson brakes really late, and he manages to keep it stick. And oh, Jared, and who is that? Philip Koenig now also challenging for the final point. Also very, very interesting. Everything's going on now. Meanwhile, Peisler is also past Matthew Clip. Oh, there's so much going on, guys. And there's a three-way battle for the final point now, with Philip Koenig looking to the outside of Radion. Is he going to do it? Yes, he is. And then up Rouge. Yeah, he is. And he already made a stick before that corner even came up. And now Gerald is also going to try to look around the outside of Jake Sanson. And he's going through the grass. That's not going to help her speed. Oh, and they touch. I think Jake came back there to the racing line a bit early. But yeah, it's not that bad, luckily. Let's see. There's only 2 guys behind him still in the race, which is Hoekstra and Lucas Zimmerman. So there's 19 people still driving, which is a lot more retirements than the first race. In the first race we only had 3 retirements, now we already have 8, I believe. And let's see, Mike Quinn in P6 trying to challenge for P5 with Matthew Clip there. And Paisler up the road just as well. And I think this is the final lap, I'm not quite sure. But I think it is. Let's see. Is it? Yes, it is. It is the final lap now, guys. So David Yoon in his final lap. Jay easily in P3 with Liam de Waal in P2, of course. All race there. And Mike Quint is taking Matthew Clip. He's going around the outside. Yes, he is. Oh, he goes wide though. And he has to keep it down the inside. No, oh, that's close. Bastian Paisler though, he's running away with P4 now. And Matthew Clip is now back ahead of Mike Quinn for P5. So this battle really tough. Meanwhile, for P10, Matthew Marquardt made a mistake, or maybe he got touched by Menno. But he's down to P12 behind Chris Butcher now. Chris Butcher is within a second of Menno, so he might be able to challenge down the final straight. So there's still a lot of battles going on. And it's going to be interesting to watch those until the end. With Mike Quinn challenging Matthew Clip, of course, and with Chris Butcher challenging Menno Klont. There's still a lot to fight for. Let's see what else we can find. David Yoon is now coming down the back straight. Let's watch him first cross the finish line, I guess. He did really well in the second race. I mean, in the first race he was nowhere to be seen, and now he really picks up the pace and showed himself to be a worthy winner of the second race. And that's a really good job by David Yoon. And congratulations to Red Arrow as well for 2 wins in 2 races there with 2 different drivers. Maché finishes P2 as Liam de Waal apparently made a mistake, or maybe Maché was just that much quicker, but Liam de Waal finishes P3 right behind him. Bastian Paisler, P4, Matthew Clip P5, Mike Quinn P6. Unfortunately didn't manage to get past Matthew Clip, and P7 is Wesley Stefano after his mistake. Roy Vazal P8, quiet race for him. Mark Raslin, after a bad opening few laps, finishes P9, so still good points for him. And Menno Klont managed to hold on to P10 with Chris Butcher, our race winner from race 1, in P11 in the end. And then we have Matthew Marquardt in P12. Then we have Brett Metcalf P13, Bruno Sousa Ferreira in P14, Philip Koenig P15. For now, those guys are not finished yet, but they are quite far behind. But I'm sure they will finish there. Hoekstra is going to be P16, and then Jake Sanson is going to be P17 with Jorrit van der Weide DNF in the final lap, and Lucas Zimmerman 1 lap behind. He's in P19, our final finisher of the race. And yeah, that was it. Quite an intense race. That was quite a chaotic race, that second race. A lot more chaotic than the first race. I think Jake Sanson's tires are completely destroyed, and he has no front wing as well. So that must be hard to drive that car. But at least he finished the race P17, and maybe there will be a few severe penalties and he might be able to grab a point, who knows. But congratulations to David Yoon in P1 and Matthew Malinek, no. I mean, Maché Malinek, of course, and Liam de Waal in P2 and 3. Well done to those guys. And of course, to everyone who finished in this chaotic race. A lot of contacts were made. And I'm sure the DC will be busy with all the protests, etc. And the owner of Stacks Racing says that Liam did a great job. He only got asked for the race with 1 or 2 hours to practice, so that's really good from him. And yeah, to finish on a podium with so little practice is really impressive. This guy has really impressed me already this season. For example, in China, his first race, he won the second race. So this guy is really, really quick. And yeah, he showed it again today with P3 after starting from the back of the grid in the first race, of course. So good job by him. Menoclont as well from P25, I believe, back to P10. That's also pretty impressive. Of course, when you have to start from the back, it's always going to be hard. You're always going to encounter a few cars on the road with people crashing as often as they did this race. Yeah, I enjoyed the racing in general, and there were some really good battles. And I'm sure there's going to be a few interviews now as well. Let's see which guys are going to be in the interviews. So let's wait up for those guys. I think that our cameraman has to drag them in because I can't. And I believe somebody just got dragged in. It's Roy Scroton. Hello, Roy Scroton.
Hello, good afternoon.
So, can you explain what happened in race 2?
I'm still happy to be alive, is what happened. It's been a while since my car has been flying like that. It's not very good. Ryan Ness lost his front wing and just went full power to Eau Rouge, and he hit the corner, and all of a sudden he was in the middle of the track in the standstill. So I had nowhere to go and just wanted to say hi to the fans, so I got very close to them. But yeah, I tried to come back to the track, but it was with no good use.
Yeah. We saw you get back to the track, but unfortunately you got really close, but your car got stuck. Would you have continued the race, you think, if you got back onto the track?
No, I don't really think so. I believe my car was pretty messed up already. I lost my wings, I think, but it's just for me to try and get somewhere in the heat of the moment, I guess. I'm still in second in the championship, so I try to take every point available. But yeah, I knew it was over right when I crossed the fence. So.
Yes, your first race though was very impressive. I think you got P3 in the end.
Yeah, I got on the podium. I was pretty happy with that. It was a tight battle with Terence. He did a very good job in race 1 at least. I really had to push our race because Johan Lindberg was right behind me, was very fast as well. But I was just able to keep it in front of him. And it wasn't my best races. The car didn't feel very good. And of course, I would have wanted to finish higher up, but I guess the podium is pretty good around here. It's my home race, as we don't have the Dutch Grand Prix. I saw a lot of Dutch flags in the grandstands. I don't know if they're for me or for you tomorrow, or for Ruud in the Super League. But I see a lot of Dutch fans here, so maybe for Chris or William to maybe allow us to have the Dutch Grand Prix next year again at Zandvoort, of course.
Yes, and of course, ahead of your rival as well, Matej Mlinek, although he did win a lot of points back in the second race, so the gap is now even bigger than it was, unfortunately for you. How do you estimate your chances for the championship?
0.00001. No, I guess just every time that I'm able to seem to be able to gain some points back on him, it's just that something happens or someone hits me and it's just all over. I'm really not looking for the championship after this race. Of course, I'm going to try and win every race in the future, but I don't really see a chance for me to win the championship after everything that happened.
Yes, let's hope you can get a few wins then. Thank you for your interview, Roy, and I hope to see you soon.
Yeah, thank you. Good luck tomorrow.
Thank you. Okay, so our next interviewee is David Junt, the winner of the second race. Quite impressive, David. I didn't expect it after your first race. I mean, what happened in race 1? Did you not have the pace you had in race 2, or was it just that you had the front position for race 2 and you managed to get away from the pack?
Well, I didn't expect really to be up there, since I'm not feeling well today and spent the day in bed, so had some limited time. And then I had to ask around people because I felt like I've had some issue with real road or something, or grip issues, because even when trying to lap fast, I didn't feel any grip. And together with being still not feeling all too well from headache and stuff, I just couldn't click it, and I was like 3 seconds off, and I thought to myself, it feels like it was Valencia on Spielberg again, where I had massive grip issues and was just rolling around hoping for the people to spin to pick points. So it was the same in race 1. I tried to follow the line where there's as much grip as possible, which was nearly sometimes running on the curb and risking a spin, since further away you don't get grip. I can't turn in, I'm just going straight off. So it was tough, and at that point I just followed well in like P11. Then had bad luck running into Jake at the exit of Lasur, since as I had understeer and had no grip, I just couldn't turn. I just couldn't open the steering for him, and I was a bit angry that he just didn't just go off the track, because I was still fighting for position. So that was P13 for me, which in hindsight was actually, I think, maybe my lucky chance for race 2, since I had a good start past Lime, and then had a good run that I held off until I got a kind of slipstream, managed to go around the outside into Lecombe, and then I just tried to get away from giving land slipstream, and then trying my race pace, and with actually improved grip feeling from maybe the grip getting better from first race, I managed to keep my pace and finish in first, which I absolutely didn't expect today, since I thought I was ages off. So I'm really glad that I could contribute to Red Arrow today that well.
Yeah, it's really impressive. I really didn't expect it after your first race. I mean, your pace improved quite massively. If I looked at Liam's pace in race 1 and your pace, I would have said that Liam would easily be able to catch up to you, but instead you pulled away from him, so that's really impressive. And you weren't even feeling that well, so how are you looking forward to the next race then? If you're not feeling well and you can already race, do you expect to be more on the pace for the next one, or?
I'm hoping to. What are we gonna do, Monza?
Yeah, I believe it's Monza. Yeah.
I'm not a fan of Monza. I'm not really a fan of it's like Spa slipstream battling, where people are so too close to each other, and even if you have pace, somebody's gonna nearly have it too, and then staying in a slipstream, and all kinds of things can happen. So, well, for me, I'd probably just trying to stay with the pack at Monza, but I'm really not sure seeing, since even if I feel well there, it's not a track that I enjoy from having to drive in a pack slipstreaming each other like nearly NASCAR stuff. Otherwise, Monza's not that bad of a track, but it's just it leads to accidents sometimes. But yeah, I'll probably gotta try to get points again, since yeah, I would like to build on the gap in the driver standings, since Chris wasn't here today and Menno I think had a bad round. And otherwise I would also like help Red Arrow to get even further up in the standings, and with Chris having such great pace in race 1 already, I think everything's possible now.
Yes, your team is certainly doing well, taking 2 race wins today, and yeah, I think you guys will be doing very well in the upcoming rounds. Thank you for the interview, David, and I hope you get well soon.
Thanks, no problem. See you.
See you. And so from the one Red Arrow, we go to the next one, and also the race winner of race 1, Chris Butcher. So can you tell us How did you get so quick?
I'm not really sure. I just put a lot of practice in basically, and worked hard on the setup. Focused on race runs initially to make sure my race pace was consistent, and then took it from there really.
Yes, and in race 2, something must have happened. I saw you drop back in the opening lap, but I'm not sure what happened after that. But you didn't seem to quite regain all those positions that you lost at the start. Yeah,
it was a bit of a messy one, that one. Somebody turned across the front of my car in turn 1 and ended up stuck on top of the nose cone, so I couldn't move until they went. And I managed to get back up to 15th place, I think it was, and then going through Pouon, somebody lost the back end in front of me, and I just went underneath their car. And then it all unraveled from there. I was pushing a bit hard to catch up and span, and flat spotted all 4 of my tyres, and that was it really. All the pace was gone after that.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, but of course that's racing as well. You had 2 race wins now in 4 races, I believe, and that's really impressive in my opinion. How would you have estimated your chances if you had been racing from the beginning of the season? Do you think you could have challenged for the title, and do you regret not racing in the beginning of the season or not?
I don't really regret it, no, because I've had a lot on this year. I've been busy with the esports WTCC as well. So in reality, at the beginning of the year, I probably didn't have time for it. But yeah, if I'd have been able to, then I'd like to think I'd be up the sharp end.
Okay, yeah. And do you think you will continue into the next Formula Challenge season as well? Trying to challenge for the title, or maybe move up to another tier and try to see how you can do there?
I hope so. That'd be nice. I mean, I signed on with Red Arrow to try and help develop the team and take the team forward. So if we're in FC for another year and I can challenge for the title, I'll do that. If we manage to get promoted to Super Cup and David wants to keep me on, I'll go there. So we'll just see what the end of the year brings.
Okay, thank you, Chris. Well done on your race win once again, and we'll see you in Monza, I believe.
Thank you.
Let's see, then we have 2 more guys coming up. They are coming up right now, actually, so I'm pulling them in now.
Okay.
Menno Klont, that is, and Jake Sanson. Let's talk to Jake first. Jake, I saw you had no front wing in the first race in the formation lap. Can you explain what happened? I missed it. So
yeah, basically I'm warming up the tires down to Eau Rouge and I get hit up the back. Simple as that. I mean, people in front of me are slowing for just congestion, and so I obviously slowed. The guy behind me clearly didn't have his eyes open and just ran straight into the back of me. And from that point, my whole race was ruined. I mean, the car, I brought it into the pits and reset it, but it was just my whole flow, my whole process for working the whole race. It just ruined after that point. So race 1, did it happen? I'm trying to forget it.
Okay, so we'll go to race 2 then quickly. You were running in the points for a while, so that was very good for you.
Yeah, that was my best sim race ever. That race up until about lap 7, and then I made it was my own fault. You know, I put my hand up and say I made the mistake. I spun trying to hold on to a position, and I was in 2 minds. I was just thinking to myself, do I pit for fresh tires, lose the positions, but I'll have a clean set of rubber so I can get these guys? And in hindsight, that's what I should have done. You know, because I know nothing about how to set up a car, I didn't have a setup on the car for the entire weekend. So I was just on the default setup for both races. So I had no straight line speed at all. I had no front end grip. So I was literally just trying to hang on to everything that I possibly could. You know, my knowledge of Spa and, you know, having commentated on various races and done miles and miles on Grand Prix 2 when I was about 9 years old. So that was it. You know, I mean, I just kind of had to rely on instincts, but, you know, messing up that when I spun on lap 7, I knackered the front tires completely. I had no grip. So, you know, fair play to everybody who caught me, Bruno Sousa Ferreira, Chris Butcher, all of those guys. They caught me fair and square, and it was my own fault. You know, I'm just so devastated because that could have been my first points.
Yeah, that would have been really amazing, man. And I sincerely would have been happy if you got him. But that's unfortunate. That's racing as well. And will you be back for another round, or do you think you're going to be back in the commentary booth or wherever you want to be?
Well, I'll certainly be in the commentary booth for Super League nights. That's never going to change. I love my Thursday nights. Don't you dare take them away from me. But with Tuesdays, yeah, do you know what? After Valencia, I was really disappointed with my performance. I felt really embarrassed because, you know, all the stuff that I've been taught by people like Scott Woodwis and Ben Turner and all the guys at Simply Racing, Milton Keynes, I just felt like I'd let myself down. But this time, you know, race 1, never mind about that. But race 2, I really found something. You know, I started to click with it and I started to get it. And everything that I've been taught, you know, it really started to come to. So I don't know when the next opportunity is. I'm fairly sure that Thomas Andrea Mariosa is going to be back in time for Monza in the car alongside Jaden. But, you know, never say never. You know, there's a good chance that next year it might even be a full time. I want to see if I can do some more testing, get into it a little bit more, do some more racing in some other leagues, and yeah, maybe some of the other leagues outside of GPVWC, but who knows? I'm not done with it yet. Let's put it that way.
Sounds good. I hope you enjoyed the racing, Jake. Thank you for driving.
I did, yeah, really good.
Okay, thank you. I hope to see you back soon on track, and we'll see what happens, and we'll surely see you on Thursday then in the commentary booth.
Thank you. Cheers.
All right, and then the last guy is going to be Menno Klant. Menno, what happened in race 1? Did you have a disconnection?
No, it was no disconnection. It was a air factor crash, actually. So it was really unfortunate. I think I could have been in the top 5 for race 1. That would help me at least for a good position in race 2. But yeah, it went wrong, and so that was really a shame. But I thought I just joined and look what I could get. So in the end, I got the fastest lap in race 1, and yeah, well, if you can't get points, you need to have other like things to get, and yeah, I just went for that fastest lap, of course, with some fresher tires and one of the last laps, but I got it. So yeah, at least I still got something. Luckily in race 2 it went better. I had I believe 2 or 3 moments, unfortunately. In the first lap I went wide because we were 3 wide on the end of the straight after a rouge. So then I needed to rejoin, but there was a bit of a hole, and yeah, I went on the track, and I hit, I believe it was who was it? Clemens Wild, and yeah, I believe I cursed him out. It was really unfortunate. For the rest, it was a good race. I had a slight contact with Mark Card, but that was, I think, a racing incident, and also a slight contact with Chris Butcher. It was all slight moments, like it was not intentional. But yeah, it was a bit sad that happened. But I got P10 in race 2, and that's 5 points again. And I believe that, yeah, you always need to score, or where you can, you need to score to do well in the championship. And I take those 5 points. Could have been a lot more, but yeah, I'm happy that at least got some points. It's always good to get that after a long evening of racing.
Yes, and I'll tell you what, Menno, you even got 6 points because P10 gives you 6 points.
Oh,
so
yeah. Yeah, sorry,
well
I can't count. Sorry, yeah.
Yeah, so that's 6 points for you, and yeah, quite impressive race 2 as well. To get back up from P25, I think, to P10, that's pretty impressive. And yeah, I think you already explained what happened in the race, so that's good. How are you looking forward to Monza now?
Yes, I'm looking very forward to Monza. I think that's one of the circuits. Everything can happen. I think everybody, well, a lot of guys could potentially win there. So yeah, I'm looking forward. It will be difficult to get the maximum out of it, but yeah, we shall see how it goes.
Don't you think it will be very chaotic, considering the race that we saw today in race 2?
It could be chaotic, but yeah, it's yeah, we shall see. The long straights will require that you have low wings, so it will be like a bit strange from the rear wing. Like it will be a little bit out of balance, but if you can drive it, you will be very quick. We shall see what will happen actually, but yeah, could be close. I think could see a surprise winner there as well, like another new winner. Who knows?
Okay, and one final question for you, and that is, you told me before that you were looking for P3 in the standings. Now, David John here is in P3 currently, and he's been running away with it today with your bad round and with Chris not appearing. Do you think you still have a shot at P3, or do you think the chances are now quite low?
The chances are now quite low. If I see where I was before my infrastructure crash and where David was, I could have got 10 points back in race 1 and maybe, well, score more than 10th place now in race 2, and then I would only lost a few positions or points. But now he's really away, and yeah, like how David is driving, it will be very difficult to catch him. But yeah, never say never. It's always possible. We saw stranger things, but yeah, it will be more difficult. We need something from my side to catch him, and yeah, I think even some bad luck from him.
Yes, okay, thank you, Menno. Good luck with the upcoming rounds, and bad luck in race 1, and great race 2 for you. And I hope to see you soon.
Yeah, thanks.
Okay, then that's going to be it for today. Our race winners were Chris Butcher and David Junt. For the Belgian Grand Prix, we'll be back in 2 weeks with Formula Challenge, with the Italian Grand Prix then on Monza. But still, there's some more racing going on. I believe on Wednesday is the Super Cup, on Thursday is the Super League, and I'm not sure if the International Touring Cup is already starting. But yeah, there's enough racing to go on, and we hope to see you back for the upcoming broadcasts. And see you next time, guys. Good night.